Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following NFL matches that is happening on Sunday, November 5th, 2023. We will be providing our team, total, and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comment section below. In this video, we'll be discussing the matchup between the New York Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders. The New York Giants are coming off a disappointing loss to the New York Jets with a final score of 13-10. It was a dismal offensive performance for the Giants, with a total of -9 passing yards, accounting for sacks. Tyrod Taylor attempted only 7 passes and completed 4 of them for just 8 yards. Tommy DeVito took over after Taylor's injury and completed 2 out of 7 passes for -1 yard. Saquon Barkley had to carry the offensive load, rushing for 128 yards on 36 attempts. Barkley was the only player with more than 1 reception in the game. Bobby Okereke led the team with 7 tackles, and Kayvon Thibodeaux recorded 3 sacks. The Giants' offense has been abysmal, ranking last in points scored with 11.9 per game. They also rank second to last in passing yards per game, 155.1, and total yards per game, 267.9. Their ground game, thanks to Barkley, is in the top 15 with an average of 112.8 rushing yards per contest. Daniel Jones has been a significant disappointment since signing an extension with the Giants, with only 884 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He is the second leading rusher on the team with 197 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, despite his efforts, has gained 412 rushing yards on 110 carries with 1 rushing touchdown. Darren Waller leads the team in receptions with 36 for 384 yards and a touchdown. Barkley has the most touchdown receptions with 2, and Darius Slayton has the most receiving yards among wide receivers with 257 on the year. Waller will be out with a hamstring injury as Jones returns to the lineup at quarterback. The struggles of the Giants' offense have somewhat overshadowed the subpar performance of their defense this year. The Giants ranked 23rd in points allowed, giving up an average of 23.4 per game, and 20th in yards allowed per game with 338.9. They ranked 12th against the pass, allowing an average of 211.5 passing yards per game, and 24th against the run, conceding 127.4 rushing yards per game. Bobby Okereke leads the team with 73 tackles, including 47 solo tackles. Micah McFadden is second on the team with 48 tackles and 28 solo tackles. Thibodeaux is the sack leader for the Giants with 8.5, and Deonte Banks has defended 7 passes on the year. Pinnock, McFadden, Banks, and Okereke each have 1 interception. The Giants are dealing with multiple injuries, with a total of 21 players listed on the injury report. Thibodeaux, Darren Waller, and Saquon Barkley are all questionable to play, while Tyrod Taylor and kicker Graham Gano are ruled out for the upcoming contest. Offensive linemen Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas are also on the list, making the offensive challenges even more difficult. On the other side, the Las Vegas Raiders are coming off a loss to the Detroit Lions, with a final score of 26-14, which led to significant changes in the coaching staff. Head coach Josh McDaniels, GM Dave Ziegler, and OC Mick Lombardi were all fired, and linebackers coach Antonio Pierce has taken over on an interim basis. Jimmy Garoppolo, who replaced Derek Carr, went October 21st with 126 passing yards and an interception in the last game. Josh Jacobs led the running backs with 61 yards on 15 carries and scored a touchdown. Jacobs also led the receiving game with 2 catches for 27 yards. Marcus Epps had 9 tackles, Nate Hobbs recorded the only sack, and Marcus Peters had the lone interception. While Derek Carr may not have been the long-term answer at quarterback for the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo has struggled as a stopgap option. Garoppolo has completed 65.5% of his passes for 1,205 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Brian Hoyer and Aiden O'Connell have also seen playing time at the quarterback position, with underwhelming performances. Davante Adams leads the team with 47 receptions and 539 yards. Jacoby Myers has more touchdown receptions than Adams, with 5 compared to Adams' 3. Josh Jacobs remains the primary running back for the Raiders, with 133 carries for 408 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. The Raiders' offense ranks second to last in total yards gained per game, 268.3, third worst in points scored per game, 15.8, and has the worst rushing attack in the league, gaining only 70 rushing yards per game on average. Defensively, the Raiders struggle against the run, ranking 30th in rushing defense, allowing an average of 140.6 yards per game. They have a strong passing defense, ranking 9th with less than 200 yards surrendered per game, and their 23.4 points allowed per game is 22nd in the NFL. They allow an average of 337.6 total yards per game, ranking 19th in the league. Trayvon Moehrig leads the team in solo tackles with 36, while Robert Spillane has the highest total tackle count with 65. Crosby is the only player on defense with more than 1 sack this season, totaling 6.5. Moehrig and Marcus Peters each have 4 passes defended, and Spillane and Moehrig are tied with 2 interceptions each. The Raiders also have their share of injuries, with 14 players listed on the injury report, including questionable statuses for Dylan Carlson and Max Crosby. Given the recent changes in the Raiders' coaching staff, they may have newfound motivation. Additionally, they have performed better at home, with a 2-1 record compared to their 1-4 record on the road. The Giants have yet to secure a win against an AFC opponent this season. Both teams have struggled to defend against the run, and it's expected that both teams will rely on their star running backs. Despite the low scoring potential, the Raiders are favored, and Davante Adams could perform better with a new coaching regime in place. These two teams have struggled to move the ball effectively, ranking 31st and 32nd in yards gained per game. Given the Giants' consistent inability to score efficiently, the under is a likely bet. The Giants have hit the under in 7 out of 8 games this season, and the Raiders have hit the under in 6 out of 8 games. Although the total points line is set at 37, it's similar to the line when the Giants played the Jets, and they easily hit the under. With the Raiders undergoing coaching changes, expect a game with mistakes and strong defensive performances, resulting in a low-scoring affair where one team may reach 20-plus points, at most.